Hello there, my friends. Welcome to the Glow Up Method. This is the place where we talk all things personal development, self-growth, self-healing. Hi, my name is Natasha, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. Let me tell you, I am really excited to be here with you today. I am ultra grateful to be here today. Today, I literally saw my life flash before my eyes. I was taking a turn. It was pouring raining. There were 2 earthquakes I felt today here in California. There were floods. Like, the day started off great. I got to the gym. For me, it's Thursday. The energy was infectious in the class. It was so busy in there that like somebody squeezed behind me that there wasn't room, but I was trying to make room for them, and there were people dancing out in the lobby. It was just insane, and the energy was crazy. I had like a friend who usually goes to the Pleasanton one come, and she was like, this class was like nothing I've ever experienced. I'm like, yes, like this is why I commute for this, even in the rain and in the floods. It is worth it. It was just such a great workout. And I've been like, yesterday my leg was kind of doing that like falling back to sleep kind of thing, and I was like really nervous because I'm like, oh, like, the pain was at like a 1 or a 2 or maybe a 3 yesterday, and I was like, I'm just so scared of it coming to be 12. Like, I'm so grateful for the moments that I forget all about it because it doesn't hurt. And so I was really gingerly with it yesterday, and so sweetly Chris was like, would you like a massage, and I was like, yes, like I'm just afraid, like it's gonna hurt. And he gave me a massage, and guess what, this morning there was no numbness, no anything, so felt great. And I took things like easy, but still went out and did everything I could, but was very aware, let's say, of it, because I didn't want to exasperate anything, so I'm like, just take it slow. And it was such a great time. Like, everybody was in a good mood. Like, it was just a great class. And I like got to the car like after in the rain, like after like I did they had these little hydro machine like massagers. So I did a massage. I actually had done one before class. Like, I got to the car. I sent Chris a message like, thank you so much for the massage. Like, I had such a fun day in class today. And best part was I wasn't in any pain, And then I sent one of the ladies I dance with, who's like one of my favorites in there on Thursday morning. She's like my little partner in crazy. And I sent her a message and just said, I don't know, today was super special. Like, I had such a great time dancing with you today. Like, I always do, but today, like, was just something so special. And, I sent that message. I start driving. I text my son, hey, what time are we leaving? Because I'm taking him to the airport. And, we're trying to figure out things. And I'm like, hey, if you want to take a snack, don't forget to take a snack. So, like, there's a snack, take these Pringles. And so, like, a couple weeks ago, I started telling my son, I'd read an article or saw a reel or something like that about how when you get to a red light, if just by pausing for like 10 seconds or 5 seconds, I don't remember what the seconds was, that like you can literally save your life by not just gunning it and going. And it was talking about all these stories about people that were T-boned, because of it. And so I've been really trying to integrate that into my driving practice. And so the light turns green. I'm going to turn left, and I pause. Like, I'm paused and I'm waiting. And then I start to go. And then from the corner of my eye, I see this big rig that has the whole thing of it is because it's near where I work out. It's near the Tesla factory. So it's filled with Teslas, and it's barreling down. And I was already out and going into the intersection. So this guy is not slowing down. I slam on my brakes. It's wet. So my car fishtails like hydroplanes in there. Cause like it does with the anti-lock brakes. And this truck is just millimeters from my bumper, the side of my bumper, because my car's kind of like sideways now from the way in which I kind of like turned and kind of try to not be going straight anymore. And that would have been literally T-boned. And I was just like trembling. Like, I was like, did this just happen? I mean, I look over, the guy was, he was going at least 40, 50 miles per hour. His light was red. I look up at it like I'm looking at my light. Was my light green? Yes, my light was green. Thankfully, there was nobody going straight like I was turning left, but their light was also green. Thank God. Like, life is the difference of seconds. And right now I'm looking at my window and there's like a white leaf in the shape of a heart. Like, it's so trippy. I just looked over and I was like, whoa. But I was just like, I literally saw my kids and Chris like flash before my eyes. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like I have still so many loose ends and things that are just not resolved and not done, that if I was to die, like, would they even know about these things? Would they even know what to do? And I do have like some things set up. I have trust. I have like my son and is this thing and you know, but it really was this reminder, like, wow, like that was really close. And I was trembling and I was like, I love you guys. Like, that was the closest to like one of the scariest moments of my life. I just didn't even listen to anything on the way home. I was just like, oh my gosh. Then I stopped at Costco because I wanted to grab, oh my gosh, there were these really good, they're called like sconza or something. And they're like sugar cookie snickerdoodle covered almonds. Oh my God. They are like just really multi-dimensional. It was like a party in my mouth and they were on sale. So I bought them yesterday. And you know, with Costco, things aren't always available. So, you know, sorry for the itch. But so I wanted to go run back and get some because tomorrow's Valentine's Day. So I wanted to get something for Chris. Like, I wanted to get him another pack of them. And I park and it felt like somebody was like rear-ending my car, like back and forth. I'm like, what the heck? Like, I look at my rearview mirror, nobody's there, nothing's there. And turns out it was an earthquake, literally at that time. And I was like, no freaking way. And so I go into Costco, I'm like a little bit shaken. Everybody's like, did you feel that? Did you feel that? And I was like, yeah, I thought somebody was literally hitting my car. So, you know, it was just a very like weird day. And then I came home and I cooked and I just hugged my kids and you know, Brad was like hugging me, like, even like, wow, Mom, be careful. The last conversation was going to be about Pringles. Like, you know, like, gosh, you know, I'm like, I know, right? And, you know, so I appreciated being with my kids and, I ended up, like doing something else. And then suddenly there was an earthquake again. I'm like, there's an earthquake, people. And I was like, oh my gosh. And my son has his girlfriend here from Kansas, which was funny because on the phone, like a couple weeks ago, we were talking and my son was like, I've never felt an earthquake before. So needless to say, he's like, I heard it, but I didn't feel it. So he still hasn't felt an earthquake. So he says, like, how could you not feel these? But it's so funny. I happened to be sitting and I totally like felt it go back and forth. So it's been a crazy day. You know, I then ate, I took my son to the airport. And then as we were driving there, his flight was delayed. Flight was like, I kept saying, with this rain and the floods, we're going to SFO airport. You better keep checking. So he checked right when we left and 15 minutes later, it was delayed an hour. So we ended up stopping at like this Costco and it was like a business Costco and those are just different. They have different things than the normal Costco. So he was like, whoa. Like he was just like a kid in a candy store. Of course, he was looking at all the candy. I'm like, you are a big kid. And he wanted to get his little fruit roll-ups and I don't remember. Oh, Lunchables, like all these nostalgic things this kid of mine that's 25 years old opted to get. But it was fun to see the excitement in his face. And, you know, then we were joking, I'm like, you want some Pringles? You know, joking around. But when we made it to the airport, it was like, I'm in no hurry. You know, I'm driving slow to get you there. And then it was going to be like an hour and 20 minutes to get home because there was so much traffic. And I was like, that's how like longer than his whole flight to LA from here. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go shop. I'm not like, just go walk around shops. And thankfully I didn't really buy him a whole heck of a lot. I mostly just enjoyed kind of walking around. Like I haven't really been alone by myself and it was just interesting to see people and kind of just meander the aisles and check stuff out and not feel pressured and like somebody was waiting for me or needing me and just kind of wandered the thing. And then I exhibited self-control. I would put some stuff in the cart. I'm like, really, do I want this? Like, does this align with where I want to go with my life? Like, you know, do you need these things? You know, what will this thing? I did find like a really cute chair and like some things for this background that I was like, oh, that would be great. And then I was like, you know what? No, not right now. Like, just be on the conservation mode. I'm still trying to get a loan. I need a couple of things before I can do it. So I'm like, I need to be conserving money, not spending money on stuff right now. So that was fun to kind of like peruse the aisles, and I was in a different city and a different store. So it was actually the city I grew up in, and that those stores used to be different stores. So it was just interesting. It was interesting to be out there. And then by the time I drove home, there was no traffic. And yeah, so like it's been a good day, and I've been, like wanting to record here because I just was like, I really, really am so grateful to be here. Like, I know, again, I talked about this, which was funny actually in a recent one I was just watching and just published, where like my uncle used to talk about this like alternate kind of like universes. I literally did not, I was like, what is this dude talking about? Like, I don't know what he is saying. This is so sci-fi out there. I don't watch that kind of stuff. I don't know what you were talking about. I didn't get it. And then there was this cartoon called like Rick and Morty, kind of crazy. It was like definitely an adult cartoon, not a kid cartoon. But my uncle was like, I just want you to watch this because this is what I'm talking about. And I was like, holy smokes. Okay, now I get what you're talking about. Like, somewhere out there's a version of me that like possibly got hit by that car, like by that rig, and that's it, like, I don't know. And I don't know if that's true or not, but like, if that is, like, I'm just so freaking grateful that didn't happen to me, because I would have been T-boned. I don't know if he was cruising. I don't know if I would have been able to survive that. And if I would have, if the car would have flipped, if I would have, what condition would I have been? I mean, maybe miracles happen and I survived something like that, but oh my gosh, right? Like, what a different place. And again, this is a somber time for me because, like I said, I've shared on here before, one of our, soccer parent family friends, like the mother of one of the players passed away on Valentine's Day. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. And I think about her every year since that happened, because here's this day that's meant for love and sharing, and then something like that happens, and it's so tragic, and just kind of taints the day. And then I talked about yesterday how, Chris didn't like it and all these things that I wanted to do. And it's so funny. It's as if I was saying it on the universe, and the next thing you know, I hang up, I end my recording and I go look, and there's like, a GIF with like a heart and rose in it, and then there's a thing with like a sticky note, and it was like, like when you're a kid and it's like, will you be my Valentine? And it was like little things like click yes, click no, and it was just so cute. And he was like, I get it. It's not my favorite holiday, but I do want to celebrate you. I do want to make you feel special and all these things. And it just meant so much because I didn't even say anything. And I was like, yeah, I mean, for me, it's not about the day. And for me, what I've realized, it's not about anything. Like, the reason why I looked forward to it was to celebrate this new chapter and this new relationship that we are creating together. And so for the first time in maybe forever, like, I really looked forward to it. And so then it kind of like, again, my default settings was like, well, don't say anything, like kind of, like, he doesn't like it. It's okay, like, and it is okay. But I think it is okay for me now to speak my experience. And so having that opportunity to be like, hey, like, here is why it meant a lot to me this year. I don't need a big grand gesture. I'm not asking for singing telegrams or roses or trips to Paris. I mean, I would love a trip to Paris, don't get me wrong. But, I'm not asking for more than he can give. I'm not asking for him to spend hours creating this magical moment. I just want him and I to plan together and celebrate something together to celebrate us. And so today, when I was out, like, I just picked up a couple little things that were just made me think of Chris, and I have like a bigger idea of something that we can do together, because that's what it's really about. It's not about me and it's not about him, but it's about sharing experiences together. So I'm really excited for that, because again, hey, I'm feeling super grateful. Like, I'm on borrowed time right now after that experience today. And so I just am filled with love, and I really would love to share my love. And so I'm very grateful for that. Like, I say it all the time and I live it all the time. I mean, I think of my kids, and then afterwards, of course, their safety and their security. And one of the ways in which I can help them be secure would be in a financial status. And so some things are set up, but it was definitely this reminder that I really need to finish getting a lot of my ducks in my row so that I can be in peace if something happens. And I know that that was one of the strifes that both my uncle and my aunt had endured at the end, that they were like, oh, I didn't get this and then this and this. And it was like this panic and rush. And, I have some things that I learned and immediately was like, we're getting this in place. And then other things I'm like, I'll get to it when I can. I've dropped the ball. I have my own relationship with the situation and my own thing of like, I want my uncle and aunt here. I don't want their things. I don't want their belongings or anything. So it's this tough little window I'm in. So I'm working really hard though, because those things will help me to qualify for my loan, so I can get my loan so that I can finish this project that has been on my to-do list for a few years now. So I'm really, come on, I'm hoping so. Like, if I can cross as many things as I can cross into it to make it happen, I just got to do that. Like, come on, like we need that break. And if not, we move forward. My son has been exhibiting a ton of resilience. He's been, played his game again, and he was working so hard. Like, I say this all the time. Like, sometimes I think I'm not taking his hurt away. Like, sometimes I feel like I hurt more. Like, he's been working really hard, and he didn't get signed to a team, and he didn't get, he made it again to the positions, rank 3, 4, and only rank 1 and 2 get to go to the World Cup. He lost in the end by 2 points. And, it hurts my mama heart, right? Like, because you just want to, you want to see all the fruits of the labor work out. And we don't always see, it's not on our timeline. And God, his maturity, like, we've learned now, like, I know how to just let him be and not say anything. I send a heart. I'll go in a little later, give him a kiss on the head. And then when he says, you want to go for a walk? I'm ready. And he just lets it out there. He's like, I'm doing pretty good. Here's the thing. It wasn't my time. It wasn't meant to be. And I just think, dang, this maturity of this kid, like, you're 19 years old, like, and I'm over here crying and more upset about it, seeming, but like, he works it through. Like, of course he was disappointed. Of course he was upset. And he's like, and none of these things am I that upset, because none of these players really beat me. I didn't do something, and there was something to learn from it. And me not making it to where I want to be right now is teaching me the lessons I need so that when I do get there, I am better prepared. And what? Come on, man. Like, are you listening to my podcast? Are you listening to my YouTubes? Like, I don't tell people I do this. So it's like, what? Like, how do you know? Like, how, so God, I cannot be prouder. And just, again, I am so grateful just for everything. Like, right now, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for tuning in. I'm grateful that I get to be here. I'm grateful for this blue. Isn't this blue cute? I don't know. I'm loving it. I'm not a blue girl, but this year I'm feeling the blues and I'm feeling the greens. And I don't know what that means. I'm putting on the pinks too, because tomorrow's Valentine's Day. So, Chris was like, in regards to Valentine's Day, he was like, I don't really have a plan for us. And I said, you know what? You work during the day, and I knew we didn't have time to make a plan, because it's been I don't know. I feel like by the time we've been seeing one another, we've just been passing out. Like, exhausted. I don't know why, but we are. And it's like, ugh, we're just tired. So it's like, I don't even want to talk about anything. I just want to go to sleep. And so I was like, you know what? I had like thought to myself, like, we don't have a plan, and I don't want to put all this pressure on him. He said he didn't really like it, and I particularly don't like going to the restaurants. It's a mess. It's busy. Like, I don't want to do that. I was like, what sounds really good to me, like, if you're okay with it, is like, I go dance, you go work, I go dance, I go do this special love yoga, because I've been really wanting to do a sound bath yoga. And here's this opportunity and to really celebrate the love of myself. Like my first real love, my true love is me. And I really want to celebrate that. And what better way than to do it in the place that I love? And then I was like, and then we can come home, like, and why don't we make sushi together? Like, I love sushi. We made sushi recently and it was so freaking good. So I'm like, let's just make some sushi together, like hang out, watch a show. Like, that sounds like the perfect night to me. Maybe we'll do a puzzle. He got a puzzle for us to do. Like, that sounds to me like the perfect night. Like, I got him a couple gifts, opened his gifts. He got me something. He said it, it's not anything major, but it was very thoughtful. I put a lot of thought into it. And so I'm really going to be cognizant of that. I know that in the past, I was always like, so judgmental and critical of what he got. I put so much value. Instead of just being like grateful for the fact that I got a gift, it was like, this person doesn't know me. He doesn't know me. If he knew me, he would know I would want this in green. And, like I say, I'm changing. Some years I wear a lot of pink and want pink I'm drawn to. And some years like this year, I am drawn to this sexy blue. Like, I feel like my grandma or something. My grandma looked so good in blue. She had these stunning blue eyes. And every time she wore blue, she just lit up. And usually it's like with me, the green, it's got this like, it makes my eyes pop and just, I don't know, like it just kind of, I feel good in the green. And for some reason I like in the blue right now, and other times I'm like in the red so how the heck is he gonna know? Come on, kid. Let's be serious here. He is not gonna know, because a lot of times I didn't even know what I like. So I just am so grateful and focused on the fact that he put in a lot of thought and effort into whatever it is. And so I'm really excited to see that as well. So, I mean, for me, that's the perfect thing. My two older kids are out of town. Like I said, my oldest, he just left for a couple weeks. My daughter is gone for a couple more days. So it's just going to be my husband and I. It's going to be, which is, again, so weird to say. I never would have imagined in September, that this would have been how we were spending our Valentine's Day, but I'm really grateful for it. My son Dylan will be here, and then my youngest and his girlfriend. So it's going to be a little bit of a party here. But yeah, I'm really excited to experience it. I'm most excited, I would say, of everything, to experience the yoga with the sound bath. I'm like really, really excited for it. So I cannot wait to share that with you, because the way it was like worded sounded so beautiful and so loving and nurturing, and it just sounds like everything I need. And then to come home to some yummy sushi, like, hello, yes. So I'm really excited for that. And I'm thinking tomorrow, what I really wanted to do was, Chris has a meeting in the morning, and we weren't going to see each other until whenever he was done with work, and then I'm going to the gym. So I'm thinking I'm going to take part of my gift over to him and just come and say hi really quick before he heads off to work. And I thought that would be a really sweet way to do, because I think we last week didn't see each other on Thursday night either. He has BNI the next day. It's this like networking thing early in the morning, and I would go over to his house because, quite honestly, my bed is garbaggio, and I like his new bed because it's like firm, and I'm like, that's why I'm like, we've been in my bed a lot, so I don't know if that's what's irritating my back, because it's just way too soft. We even had to take off like a mattress pad thing. Like, it is just way too soft. So I was like, I'm going to be here because I'm not leaving my young kids here alone. I mean, it's okay when, Brad and Karina are here. There's, they're a lot more capable. They're, I'm not, no way. And somebody else's kid here, not happening. So yeah, but I do think I'm going to get up early in the morning and go and give him just a little surprise and say hi. And, yeah, so I don't know today, if my story inspires you to remember like how fragile your life is, and when that moment comes, who are those people that you're thinking about, and to let them know, like, we sometimes don't get a second chance. I feel like I'm getting a second chance again. And, I think to myself, as I was driving home, I mean, it wouldn't have been a bad day, right? Like, at least I would have had a really good day. Like, it started off a good day. There was, you know, like, it was a good day. You know, I recently had my whole family together for my son's birthday, and I was really thankful for that. And I told them that, and I'm telling Chris the things that I want to tell him. Like, it doesn't mean I'm getting my way every time. It doesn't mean I tell somebody and now it's going this way. But a lot of times it does. And I feel okay even if it doesn't, because I'm at least expressing my experience. And so I have experienced a tremendous amount of growth, and I'm really proud of that. And I hope that you are experiencing it too. I hope you're having the courage to become aware of what's going on in the inside, and then having the courage and vulnerability to share that with others or to accept it yourself. Like I said, I used to bully myself so much so that, like, if I would feel anything, why do you feel this way? Why do you do that? Like, I was so harsh on myself and not accepting of who I was, that I have this freedom. Like, I'm in this class and I'm this tall lady, I'm this wild lady in the back, you know, it's people in there predominantly conservative, they're kind of quiet, and I don't care. I mean, there's sometimes I'm screaming, hey, and nobody else is. There's sometimes I'm getting my water and my back is to the class and I'm dancing and you look, and now the class is split in two and they're laughing because all of a sudden I'm just in my own party over here. Like, I don't care. I mean, I don't care. I don't want to do anything to hurt somebody. You know, like, I care enough to not hurt somebody, but I don't care if you think I'm loud. I don't care if you think I'm quiet. I don't care if you think I'm obnoxious. Like, I don't care. And before, I would live my life like, uh-oh, this person might think I better be quiet. I better do this to try to appease everybody else. And now I'm like, I don't have the time nor patience. Listen, today could have been my last day on earth. My last day on earth. I'm not even irritated because it's the 13th, and I'm not a big 13 fan, okay? We've already explained this. I already induced myself when my daughter was being born so that she wasn't born on Friday the 13th. I know. I don't care. The 13th isn't the one for me, you know? I don't need to be connected to that day for the rest of my life or the rest of eternity. But I say this to say, like, live your life like it is your last day. Be free to be who you are. And sometimes that means you need to take the time to explore, because that's what I did. I may have heard that a million times, like, be who you are. I didn't know who I was. I was the combination of everybody else. And so I say all this to say, please go out there and figure out who you are. Discover who you are. Explore who you are. And it doesn't mean you're going to get it right the first time, excuse me. But you working on it is getting it right. It's not about the outcome. You know, I reminded Chris, he had sent a really vulnerable message again to my daughter, and she said nothing to response to him. And I said, you know, and he was like, it's just rude. And since I said, listen, you're focusing on the outcome you want. What you need to focus on is the journey. Be proud of yourself. You are doing everything you can do. Everything in your control you're doing. You're continuing to reach out regardless of what she's doing, independent of what she's doing. You are living your truth. She is living hers. And don't be so focused on the outcome. That's like me going to the gym, hopping on the scale, seeing if I gained a pound or lost a pound, and then being upset about the workout because I didn't have the scale move up or down. Number one, that's why I threw the freaking scale away. Number two, it's not about the freaking losing the, it's not about that. Like, it's not about that. It's about moving my body and the ability to move my body and have a good time and release this crud that lived in there for so long that I no longer need. Whether it be fat, whether it be calories, whether it be stress and trauma, it's just releasing it all, getting rid of it. It's cleansing the soul. So I say all that to say, please go out there today. First off, give yourself a big smile in the mirror. Give yourself a big compliment, or two or three. I'm really grateful for you. I am so proud of you, and I want you to be grateful and proud of yourself too, because that's what matters most. And then when your cup overfloweth, I want you to go out there in this world and go and give somebody else a big smile. Give somebody else a compliment, and honestly watch how they glow up. I felt so blessed last night in the gym because I walked in and it was like cheers. It's like that where everybody knows your name, and it was like hi, hi, hi. And it's not about anything other than I saw these people. There's a woman who's in there who is deaf, and she's on the janitorial staff. And I always take the time to say thank you. I always take the time to give her a hug. I always take the time to give her a smile. I know that she's seen and appreciated and heard. And most people just walk past her. They say nothing. But she has this super special place in my heart. And when I learn how to do ASL, girl, we are really going to talk. I mean, we talk now, but you just wait. And then there's so many different people in those classes that I'm like, I really see and I'm really proud of, and I'm really grateful that they're sharing their energy with me, and enjoying a piece of mine as well. So I say all that to say thank you. I appreciate you. I'm so freaking grateful to be here. So thank you. Bye.